This is the milkmaid. So, you know, Rescue had told me that maybe I should film some of my projects here. And I'm no expert. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just basing it off of what I've learned. But what ended up happening was I had a wire split. Now this is a 14 gauge wire, and this is a 12 gauge wire, but it's basically a junction wire because I broke it while I was digging. So what I'm doing right here is taking the wires and splicing them. Now what you want to do, let me see if I can get a close up here. You want to cut it to the correct length, but you want to twist these wires together. Oh man, I don't know if you can see that. So what you want to do is, you know, strip, I don't know if you can see that, strip it to a certain length. Now of course I'm going to cut this even, and then I'm going to twist them. And even though the wire nuts say that I don't have to, I'm just going to go ahead and do that because then I know I'm not going to have any kind of breaks or anything like that. But I'm going to twist these together, pardon the dirty hands, and keep twisting until they're twisted like this, okay? And then I have these really cool wire nuts that are actually silicone filled, right? You can kind of see, it's kind of oozing out. You want to cut it to the length that it says for the gauge of wire that you're doing. But you do that and then it encases it in silicone. And the reason being is that this is going to be buried. So I need no water to mess with anything. This box right here is going to end up being encased like this. And it actually has, I don't know if you can tell, there's a rubber gasket that runs along this. So that's watertight. And then I'm going to end up pumping silicone with, you know, one of those gun thingies, pumping it in to fill this entire space and either end. So it'll be completely waterproof and I don't have to worry about any water getting in there. At least that's a theory and what I've been told. This is cheaper than running an entirely new line. As I do this, what I'm going to try to do is keep where it's stripped pretty much at the same level. So stripping means you just take the plasticky part off and strip it off. You use these tools. They come with like little handy gauge things so that what you do is you just base it on the gauge of wire and then you put it on the plastic, go back and forth a little bit and then strip it right off. And that strips the wires. Okay, so let me stop recording this so I can start twisting it. I'm probably going to cut these kind of even, but what I'm going to try to do is keep these stripped parts right here the same. And yeah, dirty hands, whatever. Okay, so I'm trying to get this to focus. I'm not sure it will. Okay, so one thing that I noticed is if you're using two different gauges of wire, the smaller one, come on, the smaller one will want to twist around the larger one way more. As you can see, I kind of twisted it all the way down. And if the smaller one twists more, then this, where they were stripped, actually ends up being higher up on the smaller one. Like it'll start to climb up the twist. And so with that, I actually ended up having to clip away some of the insulation. So we've got it to this point. Now I need to cut it down to 3/8 of an inch. Which is the size for it to fit inside of these silicone wire nuts. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so I clipped it down. That's roughly 3/8 of an inch. It's not a 1/2 inch, it's not a 1/4 inch, it's right in between. I'm just eyeballing this because basically that's a pretty good contact, I would think. Again, I am not a professional. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to put the wire nut on. Let me see if I can do this. It wants to focus on my boot. I don't know why. Focus there. So here's the wire nut. Basically, it's hard doing this through the camera. You just put it down, and when you twist it, you want to do righty-tighty, the wires, because that's the direction. I don't know if I can do this. That's the direction that you want to do it. And I don't know if you can see, but you can start to see some of the silicone come out. Again, dirty hands, you know, fingernails, it's work. All right, in order to tighten this down, I'm gonna have to put down the phone, but you just keep going until it gets really difficult to go. And basically what ends up happening is it goes in here and there's these things that catch on it, and there's, you know, a kitty, because I can't do anything alone here, and wires are fun. But yeah, you keep going until it gets tight, and then you should have a good secure connection. Now, one of the things that I noticed when I was first doing this, I left too much of the exposed wire up here, and then it wouldn't, it would end up being that I would have some exposed wire where the silicone is. And I didn't want that. Even though I'm gonna fill these boxes with silicone, I just don't want any problems, because I don't wanna have to dig this up again, because this has been a massive project with lots of helpers. So I'm gonna tighten that up and then I'll show you what I do next. Hey, Odysseus. I can't film anything with these guys. I don't know if you can see, so I'm gonna try to get close without him headbutting the camera. Maybe not. You can see, you can see the silicone popping out a little bit there, and you can't see any exposed wire. So that's what I was going for. All right, next step. I'm gonna give him some love, so maybe he leaves me alone for a little bit, because I don't know what the deal is. Okay, so this is why I twisted all of these down there. Yeah, Odysseus is helping out. Really? So that I could pull on these wires, and these aren't coming loose at all. So what I'm gonna do is fully pull them and then tuck these down inside and then put the top on. So I'm still being challenged by the cat. But this is what they look like all tucked inside. So I just kind of bent them over and pulled this all the way through. Can you see that? This is gonna be like my worst video ever. Complete with dogs barking at pigs. Anyhow, so now I just put the top on, and then I'm gonna squirt the... You're stealing the show, buddy. Come on. I know, master electrician. Supervisor. But yeah, then I'll just squirt in the silicone like through here. Fill it up until it starts coming out here. And I'll probably go a little bit farther, just to make sure this area is completely encased in silicone with the top on, so that, yeah, I don't have to worry about any water. All right, so next step was pumping silicone in. So I kind of left this as it was, and I made a big freaking mess. I don't know if you can tell, but what I did was I opened up the silicone, I jammed it in there next to the wire, and then I started pumping until it started to clearly come out the other side. So what I'm gonna do at this point is take it back out, make sure I don't have any gaps, like right there, and then I'm just gonna let it dry. And hopefully that works. And then I have to do the other one. But you know, it's a thing. Little teeny tiny tip. If you're working on a project, make sure you have extras of whatever you're working with, because yeah, you may end up using more than you think. And then you're left with an almost half-finished project with something that's a little time sensitive, and you end up having to run to the store, which I didn't, because I got an extra one. Didn't think I need to, but clearly I've wasted stuff. So I gotta finish this up. All right, and that's it. So I'm gonna let that dry and that dry. Yeah, I probably should have put them on plastic or something, but honestly, I'm going a little overkill here, I'm thinking. But this is the kind of stuff that I do. So this is homestead life. It's not pretty, but I thought I'd show y'all, just in case you ever find yourself in that place. Ooh, don't get into the... Kitty wants to play in the silicone. I'm gonna have to bury that or something, pick it up. That's Penelope. She's not the one that was a pain in the butt earlier, but she will be now. Y'all take care. Bye.